Hello, my name is Angelica Thompson, and I'm just giving you some information about our Duplicate communication platform. So here we're going to look at the primary form of communication platform to reach out family and communities, and that is Facebook. If you notice, you see the Facebook icon at the lower bottom of the screen, and again, that's just to highlight some different celebrations, upcoming events, and just important dates, independent learning, testing dates, all kinds of things like that. Just to shed some light on the district. We want we the posts that they do on the Facebook ranges from 4 to 5 times a week, just depending on whatever that's going on. But it's usually for informational purposes. Nothing for as far as two-way communication. Just sending out information. And it usually, as far as that engagement piece type, it ranges roughly from about 25 to 250 likes, just depending on the post. So it's roughly around 25 likes is used for like classroom activities, different things like that. Where you got your athletics is usually about 50 likes with about 10 shares. And then you got your new staff members and current staff member ranging from about 200 plus likes, 50 plus comments, and about 20 shares, just giving out information, commenting about the congratulations and things like that. So it's definitely is a way of getting information out to the public an effective way. And then it's also or to the stakeholders and just we also use newsletters and automated recordings and things like that. But Facebook is our primary platform of getting information out, getting that information to the public and the community about our district and ways of how we're just looking good as a whole. Here we're going looking at the reimagined 21st century leader. If I would be in that position and using my platform, it would be something that I want parents, because the age, the parental age is shifting. Excuse me. So we have more parents that are younger in age. So we got to kind of get on a level where they understand and to get to where they can receive the information without any issues. So why not use a platform that they're already familiar with? And that's why you have those different icons where you got your Facebook, your Snapchat, Instagram, even newsletter, audio recording, because we want to make sure we're still using that if all technology fails. But if not, let's try to use something that they're already currently using. We don't want to make their day harder than what it is, because they're already getting hard for parental involvement. So we want to make sure we're using something that is easy just for the families to do. We don't want them having to fill out tons and tons of information like they're in the doctor's office, because sometimes when it gets overwhelming, you got parents that would just quit and stop and just they're not even involved. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we make their job as easy as possible. So what I would call my brand is Inside the Bobcat Den. I like that. And the hashtag would be at Dooley Bobcat. At Bobcat Den Families. And that's, again, just very similar to what we already have. But we want to make sure we want to use it for that sole purpose of getting information out, news, updates, and even taking a look in the classroom, peeking into the classroom, looking at what kind of how rigorous the curriculum is that we're working with, how engaged the students are about learning and things like that. And we want to get that out to the public to make sure they understand what we're working towards. And while they're doing that, we can also use like different quiz polls and things like that towards the end of whatever the announcements are, the updates are at the end, and just get parents involved with kind of like something like a little pop quiz at the end. Who was the teacher that was highlighted during throughout the newsletter, or who was the student highlighted, or what was those how-to activities that were mentioned in the newsletter. And I think that'd be a great way for getting those parents involved, especially if they're working towards something. And the reason why I mention that is because we want to make sure we're getting them some type of incentives for just giving, taking time out their day, just to participate. Because I know sometimes it gets really, really hectic, and parents you're tired. They're working long hours, especially most parents. They work 12-hour shifts because that's how a lot of these jobs are designed nowadays. So it's a bit much just having to come home and fill out some paper when you've had a long day at work. So again, we want to make it worth your while. So we want to do some meaningful giveaways where it makes you want to participate. So if you notice, I have food vouchers, and I said food voucher because why not? We're living in a lower income, or working in a lower income environment where students are struggling. Parents are struggling, their circumstances, and not able sometimes to even provide food and things like that. So why not giving them food vouchers? So to different local grocery stores in the area, gift cards, again, can be used for the different stores in the area, restaurants, and so forth. Especially if transportation is an issue, this makes things a little bit more accessible. And vouchers for electric companies and water companies. I've seen this a while back where parents sometimes struggle with getting their utilities and things like that paid. Why not? Let's just create some type of different vouchers where they can win and use them only towards some different things like that. I think that it makes parents, getting in it, and it's like you're getting that assistance, and just participating. It wouldn't hurt anything sometimes. I'm not saying that we will do it all the time, but I think it's a great way of getting parents involved because everybody needs a little help. Every little bit counts, and this is a great way of giving out incentives that are meaningful without getting things like a candle. Some people don't even like candles and different things like that, or just different little, you just never know, pens and pencils and stuff like that. Let's make it meaningful. Let's make those incentives worth their while. Okay, so looking at the Twitter or X, whichever one, looking at how I would tweet or post things like that. Thought about how I can create some easy, or I've already created some easy prep math activities that can be used at home or even in the classroom, because I do them in my class. We got a review day or things like that. Pretty easy. I have one was called I Declare War, which you use deck of cards and the positive and negative, using the tape. Really easy. It's fun, engaging for the students. Low prep, like I said. So again, that's a great way of getting those activities in. Can be used even for a choice board. Like I said, review different little things because we want to make sure the students are engaged and having fun while they're learning, so it doesn't seem like they're actually learning. Retweeting. Want to make, especially like if it's something that is related to your standard or something that you believe in, whatever the case may be, retweeting is a great way of getting those people who created the original post out there and just let them know what they're saying is meaningful and useful to other people and things like that. So especially like if it's pertaining to math, it's a great way that we can bounce ideas off of one another because we don't know everything, and some of the smallest things can be used to be implemented in our classroom and help with student outcome, and that's what we want to work towards anyway. Those hashtags are very, very important because it makes connecting with those different professionals, professional learning educators within Georgia. It makes it way easier. So if I do at Georgia Math or at at Godot, those things is a great way of simultaneously connecting with educators who are already familiar with the different standards for the 7th grade, because that's what I currently teach with. And it makes it easier just to locate them because it narrows it down to whatever specific area that you're talking about. And that's a great way, even when we get there, where Twitter chat is a great space or platform for educators with that work in the content area math, to connect different idea, converse about different standards and things like that. It could even be something that you struggle with, But it's a great way to converse about those different things like that and come together collectively and just try to figure out what's next, what to do, what areas that we're struggling in. Even as educators, we tend to struggle with the delivering certain standards. So sometimes we need to bounce ideas off of one another. And because you are able to retrieve that instant feedback, and that's what we want. We want to make sure we have using just the necessary resources that are available to us. And that following you, again, at the end of the day, we can follow those individuals who we find work that is meaningful and worth using and things like that. Because when you follow someone, it really allows whatever the areas or whatever they're posting to just flow to you. With even you don't have to be online to get any information. If you're following them, you have access to the different stuff that they post. That can be useful, like I said, to you in the areas that you work in. So we want to make sure we take advantage of that, because you never know what it is that you might need that is inspiring and things like that to help with like I said, my content area is math, and I'm always looking for new innovative ways of implementing lessons that are engaging and fun for the students while making sure that they're retaining the knowledge so they can be successful throughout life, not just on the milestone, just throughout life. Because again, that's what we want. We want to make sure that we're doing that in a way that students are able to retain that information. Okay, so like I said about the tweet, just a simple post about whatever it is. We're talking about retweeting about whatever it is that the initial person posted. Hashtag, how is this something, making it something easier of locating whatever it is that this person talking about, just a specific group. It kind of narrows it down to whoever it is that you're talking about. Twitter chat, again, that's about just that live chat room that they're able to bounce ideas off and retrieve information instantly. And then just following those individuals who you just find that their posts are inspirational, motivational, and things like that that can be utilized however you see fit. Okay.